So this is part 2 to foiling or factoring Friday. So what's cool about this is there's another way in order to foil. It's called using a box method. So what this is a box, obviously, but what we're going to do is break up both of these parts. So essentially kind of like a the gene table that you guys have been dealing with, or genetics, or any of those things, it's similar to it. So all we do is put this x here and plus 2 here. Then we're going to take negative x and plus 6 here. And what we're going to do now is we're going to multiply whatever the two boxes connect. So essentially x times negative x. So a negative times a positive is a negative, and 2x's make an x squared. Then in this second box here on top, I have negative x times 2. Well, I know a negative times a positive will give me a negative, so this is going to be negative 2x. And I'm going to do the same thing down here in the lower box. I'm going to take x and multiply it by 6. Well, x times 6 is going to give me a 6x. And then the last part here, I'm going to take this 6 and multiply it by the 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Then I can easily write this out. So I have negative x squared minus 2x plus 6x plus 12. And the reason the 6x and the 12 are positive is because there's no negative sign in front of it. Two positives make a positive. So then I can combine my like terms, or I could do it before I even wrote it out. If I owe you $2 and I give you 6, 6 minus 2 is 4x. And I would just bring everything else down. So now I have it into standard form. Now I can know if it's concave up or down in the same process. Oops, this is squared. This means it's negative, so it's going to concave down. My y-intercept is right there, and that's going to be 0, 12. It's going to be my y-intercept, and my x-intercepts, remember, we can find from the factored form. So the opposite of a positive 2 is a negative 2, and the opposite of a positive 6 is a negative 6, but I need to be careful. This negative is in front. So I'm actually going to have a positive 6 here, because if I plug in 6 here, a positive 6, it would give me negative 6 plus 6, which would cancel. Now let's try this last one here. I have 5, or x plus 5 squared. I don't have a second set. Actually, I do. This 2 tells me that there's 2 sets of x plus 5. So now I can put it in my box. I'm going to put x plus 5, and then x plus 5. And remember, we're multiplying. X times x is going to give me x squared, and 5 times x is going to give me 5x, and x times 5 is going to give me 5x, and 5 times 5 will give me 25. Now I can combine these two 5's here beforehand, and 5x plus 5x is going to give me 10x plus my 25. So I know my y-intercept is going to be 0, 25. I know that it's going to concave. Look at my x squared. It's a positive, so it's going to concave up. And my x-intercept is actually going to be one answer. It's going to be 0, negative 5. So if I put a negative here, negative 5 plus 5 gives me 0. And that's where I want to see where my x-intercept is. And so now this is another strategy you can use, and on Monday we're going to be using it. So it might actually help and be a really good asset to your learning.